Hey, you guys. I am your host, The Unforgettable. How are you? Welcome to the Unfiltered Corner. Gonna wait for everybody to come in. Don't mind my hair. It's messy hair. Don't care. Big Fro Day. And how's everybody doing tonight? Putting my Cash App and my Venmo in the chat. Hello, is there Justice? How are you? How's everything going? I hope you guys are doing well tonight with this damn storm. I don't know where everybody is located, but I know out here it's a fucking disaster with this snowstorm. It's disgusting out there, you guys. Hey, Kenzo. Excuse me. I'm just waiting for everybody to come in. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? So we are here. Don't mind my hair. I'm looking like a cuckoo today, but I don't care. It's been crazy out there, so it's cool. I'm gonna use the natural fro look today. I hope everybody's doing wonderful tonight. We're waiting for everybody to come in. Shout out to my niece again. She made this cup too. Well, she put the designs on it. So I had a one with white, design on it yesterday, and then she made this one as well. It's nice because it has like glass. This is a glass straw, you guys. Hit that like button, share. I'm gonna start sharing with everybody. Because sometimes people don't turn on their notifications. So it's good to kind of like share with everybody. I always tell everybody, turn on your notifications, don't end up, not able to um, watch because your notifications are not on. Everybody hit that like button. Sending it to all my peoples. Here we go. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Oh, Donna, I sent it to you by mistake again. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Just inviting everybody over so we can have a nice talk about this. And it'll give somebody something to do today, listening to some knowledge and shit. I'm on here. Nice. I don't have school tomorrow. I know you don't have school tomorrow. Let's get everybody coming over here. Just inviting everybody. Everybody can come chat, listen in for a little bit. Just inviting all my peoples over here. Yeah, she's excited. She doesn't have school tomorrow. And forgive me, you guys. My nose is a little bit runny. Hi, Yadi. Diana, bring me a napkin. My nose is a little bit runny. I don't know. Tis the season, you guys. So I just been inviting everybody real quick. We're gonna talk some important stuff tonight, you guys. Last two streams been a little bit petty. Funny and petty at the same time, but I think that this is a serious topic, and I know somebody in some way, shape, sort has come across. They have come across. Thank you. They have come across somebody that has been an addict, or dealt with somebody that's an addict, or has been an addict themselves. And we're gonna break it down today. What type of different addictions there is, and watch out for signs for them, and all this stuff. It's good, All right. All right. So, again, I am the Unforgettable. I'm your host. So, you guys got to remember, addiction is not a person, but it wears their face, you guys. Remember that addiction is not a person, but it wears their face. You guys know what that means? The addict is carrying the face. You know, it's addiction is a substance or something you're addicted to. They're just carrying the face. You know what I'm saying? How do you separate the demon from the human? That's the question here, you guys. How do you separate it? If you're just joining, you guys, we were talking about addictions versus a person, because let me tell you, that's something very important that we have to talk about. A lot of the kids nowadays have, hi Natalie, have a lot of addiction issues. A lot of the young kids, this generation of kids, we've grown up around addiction. Some of us have had addiction. Addiction is real in every class of people. Exactly. You're definitely right. It's a good time to learn about this shit and the signs and everything else. Yes, thank you, Natalie, for promoting that. Everybody hit that like button, share, please, invite your peoples in here, everything. I appreciate you guys being here supporting me. When does loving someone turn into enabling them? That's the question. When does loving someone turn them in, then you're enabling them? Because sometimes, you guys, you don't notice, but you love somebody so much that's an addict that you start to enable them without even noticing. You start to enable the people you love. You can still love a person that's an addict, but you don't have to enable them. But sometimes we're so weak as humans, we want to keep them happy. Like, we think we love them by trying to keep them happy, you guys. You get where I'm coming from? And it becomes enabling to them. This is coming from a person that was an addict themselves, okay? I was an addict. And I had family members that have been an addict. My dad was an addict. My little brother's an addict. You get where I'm coming from, you guys? So this is coming out of perspective of a person that's dealt with that. Even if I haven't dealt with it, I've dealt with people that have been addicts. I've had family members that have been addicts. My husband he was an alcoholic. That's addiction. And then he became an addict too. Now, even if people think that marijuana is not addicting, it is, people. It's an addiction. Anything that you depend on to function, and it's a dependency on it, it's an addiction. It's an addiction, whether we see it or not. You got to ask yourself, am I fighting you or what's inside you? Because you guys have to remember, hi Laura, you guys have to remember, it's not the person you're fighting, it's what's within them. The drug, the alcohol, anything that they're using that has them not there. They're not completely there. That they're not themselves. Now, we're going to break it down to what type of addictions they are. All right? I'm going to break it down to you. There's substance addictions, and I'm going to break it down to you. Substance. So these involve physical and physiological dependence on a chemical substance. Alcohol addiction, which is alcoholism. Many know about that. I became an alcoholic at some point in my life. It was short-lived, but I did become an alcoholic. When I needed alcohol every day and I was drinking every day and that's the way I was functioning, I was an alcoholic. Even if it was for a short period of time and I had self-awareness, I was an alcoholic. Doesn't matter how long it lasted, I became an alcoholic. Okay? They grow a chronic dependence on alcohol, leading to physical withdrawal symptoms. And they're impaired daily. Their functioning is impaired daily. Hi, Denise. How are you? How about drug addiction, you guys? That's a big one. People become addicted to prescription drugs, which is including opioids, sedatives, stimulants, painkillers, Xanax. That was where my addiction laid. I got addicted to painkillers at some point. I was starting to have a lot of issues with my stomach. They gave me the medication, and these people, they didn't wean me off of it. They just took it away from me, and it just became a problem. Then I became an addict. Hi, Joanna. How are you? Illegal drugs, you guys. Cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, ecstasy, and so on. Cannabis or marijuana dependence. People don't want to accept it and understand it because it's legal, right? There's a dependency on that shit for you to function. It's an addiction too. My husband had a terrible addiction to that shit. He couldn't be without it. He couldn't function without it. It became so and so bad that he would work, and the first thing he thought of before paying a bill was like, I need to get this. And it wouldn't even last him. I had to he'd fight with me all the time because he wanted more and more and more. It happened with me with pills. I wanted more and more and more. It became to the point that I lost respect for my mother, the one who birthed me, may she rest in peace, that I would ask her for money so I can get my fix. It's sad, you guys. Addiction is sad. There's nicotine addiction. I have a nicotine addiction. I smoke cigarettes. Right? Then we have the behavioral addictions. Gambling, internet or gaming addiction, shopping addiction, sexual addiction. That's a big one. There's a lot of people very, very addicted to sex. Food addiction, binge eating, exercise addiction, workaholism, people that work too much. Right? Then we have the emerging or controversial. These are the controversial addictions, right? It's the smartphone or the app addiction. And then we have the streaming or TV addiction or compulsive hoarding. My mother had a serious issue with fucking compulsive hoarding. She had her unit where she lived full of fucking buckets. I told you guys this once. And then she rented a storage unit and it had 20 fucking, no, not 20, like 200 buckets in there of fucking stored up shit. It's fucking sad, you guys. Addiction comes in all shapes, ways. It doesn't matter. It's an addiction. It's a dependence on it, you guys. You know, general behaviors on addiction, you guys, I'm going to break it down to you. They start to be secretive or dishonest about activities or possessions. You guys notice that? They start to act secretive, dishonest. There's sudden changes in friendships or social circles. You start to see these red flags. Oh, God. Laura says the food addiction. She's fucking crazy. Yes. And then I was functioning alcoholic, never at work, but oh boy, when I got off, it was straight to the bar. Yeah, see, everybody understands addiction here. And I'm sure you guys have dealt with people that have been addicts, you know? And it was hard because you depend on it so fucking much so you're able to fucking function. And then they start neglecting responsibilities at work, school, or at home. These are the signs of addiction. They have mood swings. They start to be mad. They have irritability, you know, unexplained anger. Yeah, see, Natalie says that she works in a high school and she sees cell phone addiction. That's fucked up. This generation of poor kids, their mind is like boggled with electronics. It's sad. And God forbid you take away their phone. It's all hell breaks loose. Even the parents come in to enable them. You know, it's sad. There's loss of interest in hobbies or activities once they enjoyed. There's frequent excuses for absences or lateness. That's for general behavior signs, right? Now we're going to get into the substance addiction specific behaviors, guys. They have physical signs. They have bloodshot eyes. They have slurred speech, tremors, unusual smells like alcohol, spending excessive time obtaining, using, or recovering from substances. Oh, Jesus. Natalie says she's had a chair thrown at her for it. That's crazy, bro. I'm telling you. Then there's the frequent financial problems or borrowing money. You guys ever come across the addicts or ever been an addict to the point that you were borrowing money without clear reason? Oh, they'll make up something. Oh, I need the money for this or I need the money for that. And in reality, it's because they wanna get their fix. you know? And let me tell you the emotional and psychological indicators that people choose addiction, bro. And I know people, I hate when people talk shit about addicts. And they're like, oh, they chose that life. They decided to do this. They decided to do the third. And I get pissed off because I'm like, you don't know why a person did something. There's different reasons and you don't know. In those days, I had money, which made it easier to drink. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, not everybody. They be borrowing money. Is there justice? They start borrowing money, asking for fucking money. They don't give you a specific reason why, or they'll make up some lie ass excuse. My brother-in-law borrowing money, then stealing. Yeah, that's where it comes to. Look what Denise made a good point. When they're trying to borrow money, you're not trying to give it to them, then they start stealing from you. I did, and I wasn't proud of it. You see, Joanna, I wasn't proud of it either. I was borrowing money left and right all the fucking time when I was going through my addiction. So now, these are the emotional and psychological indicators, right? They have low self-esteem or feelings of guilt and shame. Depression, that's a big one. A lot of people turn to substance abuse because of depression, anxiety, and to have emotional numbness. You guys know what the fuck that means? Emotional numbness. They just want to be numb from the world or whatever's going on around them and not feel anything. People don't task for addiction. Yes, they don't ask for it. Sometimes it just happens. You know, it's sad. It's a sad situation, unfortunately. And the saddest thing is, you guys, some people make it out alive and some don't. I've had to bury friends that lost their life to addiction. It's fucking super sad. Some die and they don't make it out alive. And, you know, they have defensive or secretive responses when confronted. These are emotional psychological indicators, you guys. They start to withdraw from family and from friends. They have frequent secretly behavior and they start lying a lot. They have a lot of lies. Say, I got to do this, that, and it's not that at all. They lose interest in hobbies. They just, in general, they just deteriorate as a fucking person. And let me tell you, I'm going to give you the biological and genetic factors of why a person becomes a drug addict or an addict in general. Family history of addiction. Genetic predisposition affecting brain chemistry. Some people say, oh, addiction is not a disease. It is, because some people have a fucked up chemistry in their brain. It's fucked up. It's a brain reward system, dopamine pathways. I was only on drugs because I was kidnapped with 5 other girls, been sober 6 years. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, AJ Wilson. Very proud of you. And I'm sorry you had to endure that. It's not fucking easy, you guys, for real. An addict goes through so much emotions and so much shit. It is not fucking easy, you guys. It is not. It's not easy at all. And we don't know why these people become addicts. There's mental health disorders, depression, anxiety, ADHD, PTSD. Let me open up my window. It's getting fucking hot in here, dude. I'm starting to get hot with this subject, guys. Oh. I get hot in here. I'm over here like fucking fighting with the fucking window. I'm sorry, you guys. There we go. All right. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize. I had to open up the windows. Fucking hot as hell in here. The psychological, emotional factors to it, you guys. Chronic stress, trauma, like child abuse, neglect, loss. People people turn to addiction because of that. Chronic stress, major loss in your life. Doesn't matter what type of loss it is. That's how they cope in life with these addictions, people. A lot of people turn to fucking addiction because of child abuse. They couldn't cope with it. They didn't get enough help. They just wanted to be numb from the world, guys. It's for emotional pain or unresolved grief, you guys. Unresolved grief will take somebody to become an addict. Some people drink their problems away. Some people do drugs to just feel numb and not think about it. You know? It's scary, you guys. It's a scary situation. There's also some people turn to addiction because of peer pressure or social influence. That's happening a lot with the kids nowadays. This generation of kids, that's happening with them nowadays a lot with the kids nowadays. A lot of the kids in the high schools, colleges, and stuff like that, even kids in middle school, you guys, it's the peer pressure, social influence. The kids start offering them shit, they start taking it. They start doing it. They start drinking. They start doing all that stuff young. Easy access to drugs, alcohol, or addictive behaviors. Another factor is dysfunctional family dynamics, you guys, or poor parental supervision. That's a big one. At least out here where I live, there is poor parental supervision, you guys. A lot of these parents let these kids go out. Be like, yeah, you could go out with your friends. You could do this, that, and the third. And these kids out here putting whatever it is into their body and drinking and doing things they're not supposed to be doing. As parents, we are supposed to keep eyes on our children at all times and make sure they're supervised at all times, because drugs are everywhere. Alcohol is everywhere. It's everywhere. Instability will cause a person to fucking become an addict. And unemployment, poverty is a big deal. That's the socio-economic stress that'll cause somebody to turn to addiction. They want to escape reality, you guys. A lot of people want to escape reality. And, you know, they don't understand that whatever they're putting in their body is only numbing them for the moment. When I was taking my pills, when I was addict to pills, and even during alcoholism, it was only numbing for the moment. And then once it wore off, it all came back again. And people, when you're under addiction and alcoholism, you don't realize it because you're so caught up with it. Your brain is not functional. You're not there. And people are telling you, people could go blue in the face telling you, but there's no point in them telling you, because it's going to stay there, because until you realize you have a fucking problem and you have self-awareness and you choose to fix your life, excuse me, guys, until the person chooses to fix their life and seek help and do what they have to do, it's never going to change. You could go blue in the face telling somebody that they need to change, that they need to cut it out. You could scare them with death and tell them, listen, you're going to die. Something's going to happen to you. And they don't care. Yeah, but I felt good in the moment. Yes, it's their justice. I drank to forget emotional pain. Yeah, everybody has a reason they're doing it. You know? Now we're going to speak about the split. Who you were versus who you become when you're an addict. The before version, they used to laugh. The promises, the dreams, the goals. They had jobs. They have so much going for themselves. They were happy. Well, at least we would think, right? And then the during version. During an addiction, the lies, guys, the manipulation, the mood swings. My brother would lie to me all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Hey, I lost my money and blah, 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 blah. And I would try to help him. Till I started to understand he had a fucking problem. Oh, I did this. Until I started to realize he had a problem. He had a problem. And he didn't know. I was a food addict, ate to feel better. Yes, some people look at Natalie makes a good point. She said she was a food addict. She felt good. She was binge eating. People don't realize what they're addicted to. And people will tell you what you're addicted to, what's going on. People see it from the outside, but you don't see it. That's hard. Now, you start to grieve a person who's still alive, an addict, an alcoholic. You start to grieve them. Remember we were talking about grieving the other day, that grieving never clocks out, you guys? Somebody told me the other day, I never saw it that way, that you grieve people that are alive. Because people always see grieving as like the people you bury and the people that passed away. No, when a person is an addict, you start grieving them. They're alive. They're here on the earth. You could see them, but you're grieving them because you're losing them to addiction. It exists, you guys. No one can beg an addict to stop. You have to want to do it. Exactly. You're totally right, is there. She's right. You can't beg anybody. Doesn't matter what you say to an addict. Unless they want it and they're going to come get it, you're not going anywhere. You're going to keep on going into circles. And it's hard. We understand it's hard for them. You start to watch someone slowly disappear. You guys know what that means? You start to watch them slowly disappear. We're not talking about only physically, you guys. We're not talking about the physical aspect, because we know when a person's an addict, their whole physical appearance changes. Their physical appearance changes. Everything changes about them physically, but we're talking about the inner person. They slowly start to disappear. They're not the same. They don't have the same personality. You see, like, how can I say this? In their eyes, it's just emptiness. You slowly start to watch this person disappear in every aspect, not only physically. And you start to think about it. I miss who you were. And you're here, but you're not here. You guys ever heard of that? The person is there, but they're not here. They're there physically, but up here, they're not here. They're checked out because they're under the influence of something. Imagine having somebody next to you physically here, but they're not here. That's fucking hard to tolerate. Because when I dealt with my husband being an alcoholic, he was physically there, but it was like he wasn't there. He wasn't there. He was not a nice person when he was an alcoholic. And I used to miss who he was. He became a total different person. He just deteriorated. And he was mean. And he was nasty. I would watch this man, you guys, lay on a bed, and he could be drunk as a skunk. And he'd have like a table next to the bed. He has a cup, and he was laying there begging for life, but still trying to pour into a cup as he's laying there. That was the saddest shit to see. I'm not even joking with you guys. He smelled so bad like alcohol. I used to get nauseous. The smell would come out of his pores. You could literally lit him on fire if you could. Like if you were to put a match next to him, you could have lit him on fire. It was bad, you guys. And he wasn't there. He wasn't there for me emotionally. He wasn't supportive. Even our sex life went down the drain because he was there physically. But upstairs, he wasn't here. He checked out. Totally addicted to Twix, Diet Coke, and pot. Yeah. Look at that jefa. She's saying that she's totally addicted to Twix, Diet Coke, and pot. You guys have to remember, addiction is a disease. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It is a fucking disease. When I sit somewhere and somebody's like, oh, you chose that life. You chose to pick up that alcohol. You chose to inject your veins. You chose. When I hear somebody talking like that, I'm like, have you ever walked in that person's shoes before? Have you had addiction? You better thank God you haven't. It is a disease. I don't care what nobody says. And it's controversy. If you guys notice in society, it has been controversial. Like it's there's a lot of controversy on it. Some people think it's a disease and some people don't. I believe myself it is a disease. I believe it is. So addiction is a disease, but the damage feels personal, you guys. Science says addiction rewires the brain. That's what science says, right? That's in the scientific aspect of it. Addiction, it rewires the brain a certain way to function a certain way. But broken promises feel intentional, you guys. You guys ever dealt with somebody that's an addict? Broken promises feel intentional to you? We get angry with the person knowing that it's the addiction that they have. I used to get angry at my dad all the time when I was younger. Never told him, but I did. I was angry at him because he wouldn't show up, or, I thought he would change and he wouldn't. And I felt like it was intentional, but I didn't understand back then as a kid that it was the addiction that he had. And that's why he had broken promises. He was making broken promises. He wouldn't come through. He wouldn't be there. He wouldn't do what he had to do. It is hard on kids. Natalie, I was young. When my dad, when I was growing up, my dad, I was young and I dealt with it. My mother dealt with most of it, but watching my dad as an addict as a kid, like I would watch my mother put him in a room and she was trying to help him break the addiction cold turkey. And I'd see him sick in the room, going through the worst withdrawals, puking and everything. Exactly. Natalie, you're totally right. You know why? I can say today that my brother's a drug addict. My youngest brother, the youngest out of all 6, is a drug addict. I was almost on my way there down that fucking road. And I thank the Lord Almighty that I didn't make it that far. You are totally right. Kids will fucking mirror that shit and pick up on it. And let me tell you, what some people don't understand too is, if a man has sex or vice versa with their partner and the partner becomes pregnant and they were under the influence, that affects the child in the womb too. That's a drug baby. They sometimes, they come out with withdrawals and all this shit and all types of sort of fucking problems. They told my mother my brother would have fucking Down syndrome. They told my mother that one day when she went to check her pregnancy with my little brother. They told her he was going to have Down syndrome. And thankfully he did it, but you know what? He was not mentally okay. And look at today what he is. Now, today, he's at a program for now, thankfully. But he was on the streets, dirty, sleeping on the streets, begging for money in corners. I never thought I would see my little brother like that ever in my life. My first DUI, I was court ordered to AA. I would leave the AA meeting and go to the bar. My second DUI was kind of getting it. Okay, see? Sometimes we need to, hold people accountable, you know? We need to hold them accountable for their actions. And sometimes some people don't fucking learn, to be honest. But you're right, Natalie. Some kids mirror their parents. And unfortunately, there's drug addiction that we're dealing with here. Thankfully, I got out of it. Stolen money starts to feel intentional. I remember my father taking off earrings off my mother's fucking ears that my sister had bought my mother for Mother's Day. He stole them right off her fucking ears as she slept. And he would sell it for drugs. He would steal our stuff at the house and sell it. My mother would go out and about to try to find the shit he was fucking selling. Because it's not the person. It feels intentional, yes, and you get angry at them. It's not the fucking person. It's because they have an addiction problem. They're trying to get their fix. They want to get fixed. And if they can't get their fix, they have to find ways to get their fix. And it doesn't matter who they hurt. It doesn't matter who they hurt trying to get their fix because they're not wired properly upstairs. It's not them functioning. It's their own demon they're fighting of addiction. Emotional abuse feels intentional. Let's take it back to my husband when he was an alcoholic. He was very emotionally abusive. He would say some fucked up shit. He'd call me out my name. He would make fun of my physical appearance. The list would go on. And back then, when he would say those things to me, it was so fucking hurtful. It came to the point I started to hate him. That I no longer wanted to be there, but I didn't find a way out. I couldn't find a way out. You know what I'm saying? I was angry at him for a long time. Very angry. Because I always thought it was so intentional. But nowadays I can say that I understand it was the addiction that was guiding him and making him act that way. My brother-in-law stole my father's expensive collections and sold them for his drugs. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? They would do anything just to get their fix. Doesn't matter what type of fix it is, you guys. Anything. How many women we see, they prostitute themselves to get their fix. They give up their body just to get their fix. There's men that do it too. They lose their self-respect. They lose their self-worth. They start doing things they didn't do when they wasn't an addict. You know what I'm saying? If they were sober, I can guarantee they wouldn't stand in a corner and ask for money just out of the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't ask for money just out of the hell of it. They'd be embarrassed. But the addiction that they're fighting is such a hard demon that they're fighting. They're willing to lose their self-dignity, their self-respect, their self-worth. They have no shame. They're going to find it any way they can, and they want to get their fix. So we know, right? It's a disease, right? I told you guys. So we asked ourselves this, right? If it's a disease, why does it feel like a betrayal? Can anybody answer that for me? If we say it's a disease, right? Why does it feel like betrayal? If it's a disease, right? How come it feels like betrayal? Natalie, yes, I don't speak to him to this day. My dad passed away. It wasn't the price that I resent him for. It's the memory. Exactly. Oh my God, it's sad. It's fucking disgusting. And it's sad. It's truly sad. Because and then that's another thing. Families fall apart. You know what I'm saying? Families start to fall apart. Families start to fucking break. People stop talking to each other because of this fucking bullshit. They start disrespecting each other. They won't talk to each other again. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? God never gave me children. He knew I couldn't take care of myself. How could I take care of a child? I didn't even know that, Is There Justice. I didn't know you didn't have any children. It's good to know. At least you wasn't selfish and you knew that it's hard to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Listen to this. When does compassion turn into self-destruction, you guys? You know how you start to have compassion for them because you fucking feel bad for them, you guys? And you want to help them. And you think by helping them, you feel so compassionate for them. You start enabling them and giving them money. Some people give them drugs. I'll get it for you. I'll get your fix. My grandmother, when my father was an addict, she was an enabler. She would give him money to go get drugs. My mother, her daughter, was fighting to get him off the streets and not enabling him. But my grandmother would enable him and give him money behind my mother's back. Some fucked up shit. Your daughter's fighting to get her husband right for her and her children, and my grandmother's going behind her back and enabling the man and giving him money. And then we start to have that compassion so bad, then they start to self-destruct. It's so bad. We think we're helping and we're not. A person thinks they're helping the other because they feel so bad for them, but you're not. You're helping them self-destruct. Out of experience, when I had my addiction with pills, my mother felt so bad for me. She didn't know what to do with herself, and she would give me money. I loved my mother. And I know my mother wasn't trying to intentionally kill me or give me this money to go get your high and your fix because she was it's because she didn't realize she was enabling me because she loved me so much. She didn't understand tough love. When we were younger, yes, but she was older. It hurt her to see me hurt and go through withdrawals. She was worried. And I felt bad. When I beat my addiction, it was like, I think back now, I'm like, oh my God, my poor mother. Like, I had my poor mother giving me money. And I'm sure she didn't feel good after she gave me that money. But she loved me. And it hurt her seeing me like this. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to talk about the lies and the manipulation when it comes to addiction. The gaslighting. You guys ever dealt with a gaslighter? My brother's the biggest gaslighter. Oof. They start gaslighting you, making it about them. They're the victim. They start to making you feel guilty, like you ain't shit because you don't want to help them to get high or drunk or whatever. My husband did that to me as well. They start gaslighting, poking at you, just fucking with your emotions. They start to blame shifts, meaning they start to blame you for the addiction that they have and they carry. I enabled one last time and told him if he didn't meet me in the car at 7 a.m. to take him to the VA, I would call the cops and have him arrested on his warrant. Sounds selfish, but it worked. Good. Denise put her fucking foot down with her brother. Sometimes it takes tough love, you guys. And it hurts us because we human. It hurts us to do things like that to our loved ones that are addicts, but sometimes it does take a tough love and a decision like that to fucking get them right. And unfortunately, not all get right. Some get worse, or some don't even make it past addiction and get buried. Unfortunately. So they start to blame shift, you guys. They start to say, you stress me out. That's why I do this. It's all your fault. You drive me crazy. They start to blame you. The sad part is, you guys, you start to fucking believe it. You start to believe what they're telling you. Because you don't realize it's a tactic. Not only so they can feel good about themselves and not feel as shitty, and because they don't realize it because they're under addiction, right? But also to guilt trip you into helping them. And guilt tripping you into giving them money and giving it into their wants and needs when it comes to addiction. He's been sober for 14 years and did his jail time he owed. Wonderful, Denise. I'm so proud of your brother. You tell your brother I'm proud of him, bro. It takes a lot for a person to fucking break addiction. They start to play victim. You guys ever dealt with an addict that starts to play victim? My brother all the time. Oh, I don't have nobody to help me. I don't have nobody to, even if I was to go into a program, where am I going to live? Like, bro, you're 35 years old. We get it. We can try to get you on your feet. But to him, it's like, no, I'm 35. Even if I leave addiction, I'm going to crutch it with methadone. And then you guys have to support me in your house, sleeping in your house, not wanting to work or anything. Fuck that, bro. I love you, but I can't be doing that. I have a whole family that I got to care for. You know? Oh, Natalie, the biggest one. Nobody cares. They use that big one that nobody cares about them. Nobody gives a fuck about me. Nobody cares about me. You know, he was telling that to people on the street that we didn't care. He went to a restaurant owner, and actually that restaurant owner called me one day. He says, your brother says that none of you guys want to help him. You give him the back. I was like, that's a fucking lie. I put him in programs and everything. He continues to do the fucking same thing. It's a lie. God bless your mama, though. She meant well. She did. Laura, my mother meant well. She did. And she, may she rest in peace, bro. God bless you, mom. Brother-in-law, I still don't talk to him. Wow. Yep. Natalie. Oh, sorry, brother-in-law. Sorry, Denise. Yep. Natalie, so true. Congratulations to my friends beating addiction. Exactly. Congrats, bro. A lot of people gotta tap themselves on the back. I'll tap myself on the back because my husband should tap himself on the back. He was a fucking destructive alcoholic. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate you so much. It's true. Is there justice? You tell people and you don't understand. You don't understand. There's always an excuse, they start playing victim. You don't understand why I'm doing this. I went through this in my life. I struggled. I can't find a job. Blah, 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 blah. It's always something. That's called playing victim, And then they start love bombing after hitting rock bottom. You guys ever came across that? When they hit rock bottom, they love bomb you. They be the nicest to you because they want something from you. Because they know they've already hit rock bottom. I watched my mother deal with my brother with addiction. My mother dealt with a lot of abusive, I'm sorry, guys. My mother dealt with a lot of abusive behavior from my brother. She dealt with the screaming, the obligating her as old as she was to give him money. She had 4 strokes, my mother. And she was a sick woman, you guys. She dealt with my brother putting hands on her. She dealt with my brother grabbing her by the throat. She dealt with my brother just demanding and just driving her crazy. And I used to get so angry watching my mother suffer what she did with my brother. He was awful to her. But you know what? Even though I used to get angry then, thank you, Denise. She's no longer with us. She passed away in 2023. Even though I was angry at him then, I now understand that it wasn't him. It was the addiction he carried. He was spiraling. And my poor mother did anything to keep him happy. And like, she was always worried. She would sit at a window and see. And like, when he wouldn't come by for days by the window, she'd be afraid and she'd call me and say, hey, have you seen him? Can you check? Can you call around? Can you come to Lawrence and come check on your brother or call your peoples that work with the homeless to see if he's okay? She was always worried, you guys. She lived a worried life. She had a hard time. I couldn't find any reason to drink. The sun's out drink. You have hangnail drink. Oh my God. Is there justice? At least you could get a smile off of me. Is there, if you have a hangnail drink, you had a good day. I drank to celebrate. Oh man, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a little emotional. It's just I saw my mother go through this one, Robert. Yeah, this is the hard truth, you guys. Addiction will say whatever it needs to survive. An addict will say anything to survive. They will do anything to survive. My mom passed in 2023. I'm sorry, Denise. It's not easy losing a mother. Maybe she was tired, bro. My mother was tired. You know what's the saddest part, you guys? My mother passed away. I know deep down inside she had hope her son would change before she hit the grave. But at the same time, I feel like she wanted to be buried because she did not want to get news someday that her son passed away from an overdose. And I don't think my mother was going to be able to bear burying her child before she went. And that's why she made the decision she did. She was tired. I don't think she would have coped with that, you guys. I don't think she would have coped with burying her own son. So she rather had lost her life to before and be buried before she sees that. Because she had hopes for him to change and he never did. Till this day. Now he's in the program. Let's see how long that lasts. I pray to God it does. It's a sad situation, you guys. Loving an addict is traumatizing. Loving an addict is very traumatizing. And it's very hard. You're a very real and transparent person, Jen. Hugs for you, my friend. Thank you so much, Laura. I try to be as realist, and that's why I opened up this channel. Because I am real. And when I talk about situations, I talk about them out of my heart. And I try to keep it 100 with my audience. And this is why this is raw and unfiltered. Because this is the true Jen. This is the Jen you're going to meet in person. And I will always be the same. The same Jen you see here, you will see in person and wherever we go, because I will never change. This will be me. And I appreciate that, Laura. I'm sorry, Denise. My dad passed away when I was 31. I'm glad he never saw me like that. Oh my God. I'm sorry. So sad. No mom should bury their children. Yes, that's why I think she was ready to fucking move on. You know? He was ready. My mother was ready to move on with life and just be buried because I don't think she was ever going to tolerate her son being buried, yo. Now, this is loving an addict is trauma. It's walking on eggshells. And that's so true. I walked on eggshells for a very long time when my husband was an addict because I didn't know what to expect when he was in my house. Was he going to break shit in my house? Was he going to put hands on me? Was he going to be destructive? I didn't know what he was going to do next. You walk on eggshells. You don't know what to do with yourself. Loving an addict is traumatic. My mother was walking on eggshells, and she walked on eggshells with my father too, bro. Not only did she walk on eggshells and loved an addict with my father, but she was loving my brother, her child, and walking on eggshells. You start to check their eyes, their tone, their behavior. You start to be hyper vigilant with this shit. I was always watching my husband. Like, let me see. Let me smell your breath. Because you can't trust them anymore. You want them to quit the habit. It's more easier said than done, though. You start to become someone you don't recognize, you guys. And this is so true. You start to become somebody you don't recognize. I was very angry with my husband. And I became a totally different. I lost like 40 pounds. I remember this. And you You become, I was angry at the world. Like they all had fault for what my husband was becoming and what I was dealing with. My mother, I can go on about my mother. She became really somebody we didn't recognize. My mother passed away weighing 73 pounds, you guys. She was not even healthy enough to get surgery for her heart. So there was no fixture for it. She was going to die either way. If she would have went on the table, she would have died on the table. Not only physically, you become someone you don't recognize, but emotionally, mentally. You just change. It's a whole shift completely. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Denise. I'm so sorry to see that. Thank you, Laura. I'm so sorry, Denise. I'm telling you, bro. I don't know the reason why your ex did that, but I'm sure if you're talking about it, it had to do with addiction or some sort. It is hard. It's very hard. You start losing yourself trying to save them. You guys don't ever catch yourself doing that shit? Losing yourself just to save them. You want to save them. You want to fix the problem, and you start to lose yourself. I'm so sorry, Denise. Alcoholism, Denise says. The sad thing is, we start to lose ourselves trying to save them and get them help and make them better because we see better in them. But you can go blue in the face, and until they don't want it, you're not going to go anywhere. I was losing myself, you guys, for my brother. I was going down to Lawrence and fighting all these drug addicts that would like beat on my brother and stuff. Like I was losing myself, and I was fighting with him because I wanted to help him. That's truly sad. I'm sorry, Denise. You know, and now we're going to talk about the guilt trap because you guys know what I'm talking about. You start to have a guilt trip, right? If I leave, they might die. You start to think like that. If I leave this person or stop trying to help them, they might die. Guys, I used to lay down in this bed all the time thinking that about my brother, that I was going to get that phone call. Oh my God, he passed away. That was my fear, you guys. It's a guilt trap. If I stay, I might lose myself. The guilt trap of family pressure. Everybody wanted me to help my brother. So that fell on me. The guilt trap of shame, you guys. And the guilt trap of public image versus private chaos. This is where people stay stuck. You want to help them. Then you start feeling guilty because you start to think of the what ifs. What if I don't help them? What's going to happen? They're going to die. They're going to do this. Somebody's going to kill them. You start to think like that. And you start to drive yourself crazy because you don't know how to fix it. Then then later on down the road, you understand that you can't fix it unless they want to fucking fix it. You can't fix it. Only God himself can help this person right now. I remember talking to my pastor, you know, the response was, and it's true. You just got to give your brother into the Lord's hands and let God take care of it because you have already tried. Because I was draining myself. Yep, my ex-mother-in-law died of starvation. She missed her hubby so much she couldn't eat. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? People start to lose themselves in general. And then you start thinking about boundaries, start to feel like betrayal, you guys. Laura, that's so sad. I have days like that. My hubby died in 2019. I'm sorry, Natalie. You know, there's a lot of people, you guys. I'm so glad I opened up this fucking this platform. And although I don't have a lot of people and it's small, and a lot of people don't come and watch me, I know the important people do. And I know you guys are learning with me. And I know we're learning off each other. I'm so happy that I opened up this platform because everybody can talk about their situations here and understand each other and be supportive and support each other and learn from each other and understand each other and empathize with each other and let each other know that I'm here for you. I understand. We were together for 10 years, got married finally, and he died 3 months later, unsuspectedly. Trump. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Natalie. I just can't. We are certainly getting to know each other. Exactly, is there. And then COVID. Oh my God. Hugs to you. You know what? My ex mother in law was a saint, love, and miss her. Can I tell you guys something? Everybody that's here watching me, I'm going to send a big hug. The biggest virtual hug. I can't give it to you physically unless I see you. And kiss and prayer over you guys. Because I understand. I understand and I'm here. I'm here for you. Because I get it. There's things that people don't understand that other people have been through. There's things that people really don't talk about. And this is why I opened up this platform so people could come here and this is a judgment-free zone and they can open up like this. I'm learning so many things from you guys. And it hurts my heart to see all the hurt you guys have been through. And I get it. Do our best every day, exactly. Navi, my friends, please heal at your own pace, Laura. Yes, much love to you guys here. This group is therapy. That's why I opened it up. And I see it like this from now on. Whoever doesn't want to join, that's fine. It's their loss. This is not only therapy, but we're learning. We're opening up. We're getting to know each other here. You know? So now we're going to talk about boundaries feel like betrayal, guys. When you start to set boundaries with addicts, you feel like you're betraying them. You guys have felt like that? Like you're betraying the person because you start to set boundaries? I felt like that. You start to cut them off. You start cutting them off. You have to. Because if you don't, you're just going to keep on enabling them and they're going to still keep coming back because they know you're going to still fulfill their need for what they need, what they want, their fix. So you start cutting them off. But then at the same time, you start to feel betrayed. Like you're betraying these people. We need you, Jen, and we need each other. Keep at this, baby girl. I'm going to continue this, you guys. Because everything I'm reading here is not things I knew of anybody here. And I appreciate you guys having, you know, the trust within me to share these things and having these discussions. I appreciate you guys. I never knew anybody was going through stuff like this. And I appreciate you guys. I need you guys too. We all need each other. Then you start to, when you start to refuse to give them money, you start to feel like you're betraying them. Well, if you don't stop giving them money, you're worried that they're going to die because of their addiction. But if you don't stop giving them money, they're going to die. but you still start to feel guilt. It's like, oh my God, if I don't give them money, I'm a bad person. You're not a bad person. You're helping them. You're a big help to their life instead of enabling them. When you start to call them out, the people with addictions, you feel like you're betraying them, but you're not. You have to call people out on their shit, whether it hurts you or not. I've called my husband out. I've called my father out. I've called my brother out. I've called out other family members that have dealt with addiction with a knot in my throat, wanting to cry. And it hurts because I don't want to be like that with them. But you have to give them tough love. You got to call them out on their bullshit, even though they're not going to understand in the moment. But later on, when they decide to fix themselves and get themselves cleaned up, they will understand that it was all for their good and they're going to appreciate you. It is a double-edged sword. Support you, Jen. Support you, all my friend. Yes. Thank you. God bless you guys. Saying no, you feel like you're betraying them. You feel guilty for saying no. She said it best. It's a double-edged sword. It is. Because if you give them the money, they can die, and if you don't give it to them, they're gonna be angry at you. You know what I'm saying? You feel stuck between the wall and the sword. That's exactly what it is. You want to help them, but you don't want them to be sad. It sucks, bro. It sucks. Boundaries are not abandonment. They are survival, you guys. Now we're going to see it from the addict side. We see in our side. We saw our side, the people that are supporting the addicts, right? Now we're going to see it from their side, their perspectives, because a lot of people only see their side, but they don't see it from the addict side. And we need to start putting ourselves in other people's shoes. Don't just feel like they're demonic and all this stuff. Don't demonize them. But we're going to break it down. It's pain that they're running from, you guys. Pain that they're running from. It's the trauma underneath that they carry that nobody knows about. There's a lot of trauma that a lot of addicts carry that nobody knows about. And maybe there are some people that know about it, but there's a lot that we don't know about them and what they carry. It's a shame spiral for them. You think they're happy in the condition they're in, you guys? Nobody's happy to be a drug addict. Not one person is happy to be a drug addict. They're not happy to be a drug addict. They're not. They have self-hatred. They start to hate themselves. We're humanizing it. We're seeing them as humans. They build self-hatred, you guys. You think that's easy for an addict? They don't see it in the moment, but I know damn well they have some type of decency and dignity down there somewhere. That's why if I'm around people, I'll be damned if somebody's next to me making them feel any less or any different. I would never allow it. Not even my children. My children got a good heart. Whenever they see somebody struggling, mommy, can we give them water? Do you have change there? Can I give them this? Can we feed them? Don't treat them any less, you guys. Because we need to learn to put ourselves in their shoes. It's a war in their head, you guys. Remember that. It's a war in their head. And rock bottom looks different for everybody. Jail, losing custody. They start to lose themselves. or nothing changes. Just like Is There Justice said earlier, you cannot force someone into recovery. You can't force anybody to go to a rehab. You can't force them into recovery. You can't force them to go to rehab. You can't force them to start going to AA meetings, NA meetings. You can't force them to get their shit together until they're ready. That's the true reality of it. And we have to remember, recovery is not a Hallmark movie. It's not. It's not a. It's. It's. This is not acting. This is fucking real life, you guys. You guys want to know what recovery is like? They relapse sometimes. That's part of the recovery process. People relapse multiple times. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you guys a story that I fucking broke down when this happened. My brother's married to a woman, and her nephew, which was her sister's brother, her sister's son, which is basically, he was my brother's nephew. He saw him grow up since he was a little kid. We was always around them. He was young. He caught addiction problems, you guys. And when he caught addiction problems, he got clean, was clean for a very long time, and decided one day to use, you guys. You know what ended up happening to him? He passed away by himself in a room. When they went to get him, he was dead. He relapsed. And not everybody is fortunate to come back from a relapse when it comes to drug addiction. He passed away, you guys, young. That shit broke me. And it hurt. And they relapse when it comes to alcohol too. Any type of addiction, people relapse. Yeah, he passed away young. Is there justice? He passed away. This is what recovery looks like. It's not a joke. This is all addicts is recovery. Some decide to recovery, like they get out of it completely, or some it's a slow process. Some just continue to relapse and going back and forth. It's just different for everybody. You can't talk to an addict. To an addict, we will never remember what you say. Better to write a letter. Yes, it's right. They have mood swings. This is part of their recovery. They start to rebuild trust slowly because they lost all that trust. You know, all the bridges they burned when they were addicts, because they burned everybody around them, including family members. They slowly start to rebuild trust again. Sometimes people don't trust them anymore, even though if they're in recovery, because people are like, no, he did this to me plenty of times. He's gonna do it again. Takes a long time for them to recover trust. They start to have resentment from loved ones. This is where ignorance come in. A lot of loved ones have a lot of resentment for them because of things they committed, like they stole from them, they lied to them, they took their money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've always said there's a solution for everything in life but death. While you're here and your loved one is recovering from addiction, forgive them, bless them, love them, treat them well, and don't resent them. Because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. It's the long road back for them. And always remember, you guys, sobriety is not instant healing. You don't heal instantly. Sobriety, it takes time. It's you have to build slowly and work your way up and work on it. You can't. It's not an instant fix. You don't heal immediately from morning to night. That's not the way it works. It's baby steps. Every day you take a step forward. Little stepping stones. The question is, when do you walk away? I chose not to walk away. I chose to be there. I did, however, put boundaries for my brother. I didn't walk away from him. I just put boundaries because I want him to recover and do it. I'm giving him tough love. You guys have to remember addiction may explain the behavior, but it does not excuse the damage. You can have compassion without sacrificing yourself. You can have empathy. You can love others. I sacrificed so much with my little brother. I had to put boundaries. I couldn't have him here. It was draining. It was a lot of work. And I have 4 children. Plus, now I have my son's girlfriend. It was a lot of work. And plus, I had my husband. So I was sacrificing so much of my life. You can have compassion, you can help them, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You can love someone and still let them go. Because this is referring to relationships, people that are stuck with addicts in their relationships. You can love them and let them go. If you are fighting addiction or loving somebody that is, or did fight addiction, or have loved somebody that did, or is currently, you are not crazy, you guys. You are not weak. You're not alone. There's plenty of people dealing with that. Addiction is very hard to deal with. I'll be honest. Until my brother-in-law apologizes to me at first, to me first, stealing memories left to me, I will resent him. I get it. I totally get it. You're human, Denise. You're human. And when somebody feels that way, there ain't nothing anybody else can tell them to make them change their mind. That's how you feel. And I have to respect it. You guys are not alone. Everybody goes through this. Everybody goes through this type of shit. Or deals with somebody close, or a friend, or a loved one, or a significant other, or dealt with it themselves, the addiction problems. It's not easy, but you will get through it. And just remember, you're not alone. If you're the one dealing with addiction, there's NA meetings, there's AA meetings, there's support groups. You go to your clinic, they'll help you, they'll give you referrals to support groups. They have wonderful programs out there. The key is to have a group of people, of supporters, to be there for you. Because I know not everybody has that. There's all types of help. And I would hope that a lot of people that have addiction problems will seek help before it's too late. Because unfortunately, not a lot of people make it past the addiction. And may those that have passed due to addiction rest in peace. It's not an easy situation. And as I'm reading here, everything that everybody's sharing with me in the chat tonight, addiction deteriorates families. It destroys them. It destroys families. It breaks them. It causes a lot of issues within relationships, within families, within everything. Brings a lot of turmoil. I went to Al-Anon for my ex. He was mad when he found out. You went to where, Denise? What is that? What is that, Denise? I went to Alnor for my ex. But you guys, that's what I got to talk about tonight. You're not alone. I'm sure everybody's been through some shit similar like this, you know? You dealt with an addict, you've been an addict, and you here, and you're blessed. All we can do is pray over them and pray to God that God takes care of them and help them get out that addiction that they're dealing with. You know, it's for people living with alcohol. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. It's a program. That's sad, bro. And you see, he got mad when she did that because the addiction is so fatal that they get angry at you. It's truly sad, you guys. And you know what? I'm glad I made this group and I have people here and we're talking about this stuff. We're talking about addiction and we're talking about different topics and everything because I learn things from you guys. I like listening to you guys' stories and things you guys share with me. I learn. It's interesting. And you guys learn things from me you didn't know that are personal to me. Because I'm not fake. I don't hide behind a mask. I want you guys to open up to me like I'm opening up to you guys. Because I was never perfect. I had my flaws, but I'm here today. And that's all that matters. I appreciate you guys being here tonight in the Unfiltered Corner. I am your host, the Unforgettable. God bless you guys. May God guide you guys, hug you guys, and hug those that are suffering with addiction. And may God comfort those that have lost loved ones to addiction. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for supporting me. I'm here to support you guys in the same way. I even being here with me is supporting me. Whoever wants to support me financially, there's my Cash App up there, you know, and I have my Venmo also. But I mean, you guys being here is good enough. I enjoy this. This is what I like to do with you guys. God bless you guys. Again, I am your host, the Unforgettable. This is the Unfiltered Corner, and I will see you guys here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with another topic. Don't you miss it, you guys. God bless you. Stay safe. It's a bad storm outside. Of course, Laura's not in that storm because she's in Puerto Rico, but thank you, Jen and Chad. Be safe, everyone. Good night, everybody. God bless you. Peace.